It was definitely the wettest kiss I've ever had, and absolutely the best one I will ever have in this lifetime. My name is Courtney Cox, and this is my Meet the Ocean encounter. Every winter, a substantial number of gray whales migrate to one of several warm water lagoons off the Baja Peninsula for the purpose of calving and seeking mates. And I happened to be there one winter. I was working with National Geographic, Lindblad Expeditions, and we were in Lopez Mateos, bound for the infamous calving grounds of Magdalena Bay. We were scouting, of course, for mother grays with their ever-so-curious calves. I was in one of the last pangas to leave the dock out of Lopez Mateos, and I was definitely a bit anxious. I had heard how wonderful the season had been for close gray whale encounters, but I also knew coworkers of mine that had been coming here for years who had never come close to arm's length away from a gray whale. I didn't really have super high hopes for close encounters, but the thought of being close enough to reach out and pet one of these whales, or kiss it, as some photos have shown people to do, I mean, that was such an exciting vision in the back of my mind, and I couldn't drop that. I knew I was going to see whales, and that was enough for me. That has always been enough for me. I grew up in Flatland, Illinois. I mean, I never imagined coming even remotely close to plain viewing distance of a whale. So I boarded into one of the last pangas to leave the dock. A fleet of pangas had already left before the one that I was in, and I just didn't have any expectation to really come close to a whale, especially given the fact that so many other boats got that head start to find whales and get some potentially incredible interactions with them. I sat towards the back of the panga by our magnifico capitan, whose name no one could pronounce. So he told us to call him Jose. So Capitan Jose drove us out through the channel on a smooth gliding path on the water that went right along these rolling sand dunes and thick mangroves. Our panga had spotted blows. We spotted the blows well in the distance, but we just kept moving forward out towards the Boca de Soledad, the mouth of the lagoon, and I was continuously scoping the horizon for any sign of gray whales, and I spotted plenty that were far off. But it wasn't until I noticed two pangas clumped together on the north inshore end of the inlet that I remember calmly but frantically grabbing my GoPro out of my backpack. We were coming up on this couple of pangas who had found a mother and her playful calf. This calf was absolutely loving on one of the pangas in this group. You could see it just watching from afar. It would come up and just sit at the surface, and it was letting people actually pet it. I was so envious and so awestruck by this oddly beautiful interaction between a whale calf and just an everyday normal person like me. The calf and the mother were probably, I want to say, 10 or so yards from our panga. And I remember hearing that splashing your hand in the water draws the calves to you. Now, I don't know how true that is, but I don't think my hands have ever splashed water with more excitement like they did in that moment. I splashed and splashed and splashed, and I was smiling like an idiot. Like, just, oh my God, I just kept splashing. And I was just watching this amazing creature literally playing with people. And then I see this calf starts to head under the water, but just beneath the surface where I can still see it. And it was swimming towards our panga. It was swimming towards our panga. It was actually coming right alongside our panga. It was swimming to me, like right to me. This beautiful little large face lined up right with mine. My GoPro was filming, but I wasn't even paying attention to it. I had a gray whale calf right in my reach. So I was no sooner petting this amazing creature and talking to it like it was my dog, like in that little baby voice. And when I began to realize that it was close enough for me to actually kiss it, I went for it. The calf was beginning to descend as I went in for the smooch of a lifetime. The kiss immersed my entire face into the seawater. But my lips definitely grazed it on that first try. And as I came back up, so did the calf. And I had to just go in for another, like a real good one. And I got it. And it was above water this time. And I was petting it and sort of almost just like one arm hugging it. This precious giant baby. I was kissing it and hugging it. I don't even know. It was so surreal. And I swear, this baby, this calf, and I have never been happier, or at least me. But this calf had literally rolled over onto its side, and I swear to you, it smiled because it was showing off its baleen, and it looked like it was smiling. And we were just smiling so big at each other. And then I saw its eye, and its eye was squinting, almost like it was laughing or in some sort of happy state of mind. And oh God, those eyes, there's something about whale eyes, and they're just so communicative. It's how we understand each other. They're supposed to be the windows into the soul, right? And I just wish I could have said so many things to that whale calf, just in that blinking moment. But all I could do was squint back with the happiest eyes I've ever had. I just never thought moments like that existed, or it leaves you pretty speechless. I mean, still. And you can absolutely bet that no man will ever stand a chance in competing with a kiss that tastes like barnacles and salt. I don't know that any kiss I've ever experienced has ever left me feeling remotely as happy as that one did.
Meet the Ocean is produced by Paul North and Andrew Gettings, with sound design by Kelsey Anderson. Special thanks to diver and multimedia artist Courtney Cox for sharing her story about that time she smooched a whale. Check out her Instagram to see some evidence of this encounter and other wildlife photography. We are a listener-supported nonprofit. You can find more podcasts, underwater creatures, and ways to donate to our educational outreach on our website, meettheocean.org. Subscribe to our podcast to never miss an episode, support us on Patreon, and please rate and review Meet the Ocean on Apple Podcasts or on whatever platform you choose to listen. Until next time, may the salt water be with you.
It was a good thing that I packed my Altoids that day.